Soundhound stock is up about 7% today, and it's a risk that we didn't take on, but we're very close to capitalizing on it fully. In fact, I'm going to roll a clip. We were just trading it earlier this week, looking for a recovery of about 7 to 10% on Soundhound through the end of the week, and I'll show you exactly what we outlined in that video here and into the rest of this week. And we get this pattern continuation of something like this over the next few days. And that's kind of what we would hope with Soundhound, but being so close to where we would manage our risk in the process, potentially we won't be there to see it and somebody else will take on that risk from here. So as you can tell, we actually ended up getting out around this stop around $13 a share. I think it was actually a little higher than that because we saw it surge at market open yesterday. So it would have been right around here. Yep, we sold out right around 13.30. So we were able to make a profit slightly, or I think it might have been maybe even a slight loss on Soundhound. And then we basically outlined, we said, hey, it can make this move. It's just not quite holding true to how we'd, or taking a little bit longer basically. And we didn't have the patience. And it's funny because the video that we just published on Soundhound, the thumbnail that I put there literally says more patience question mark, and that's exactly what we needed. Some stockmates were able to take advantage of it and make that 7% gain as we entered that trade in our live session. If you guys ever want to join the live session, it's the second link in the description down below for stockmates, and that's where we were trading. But you know, it's funny. So now Soundhound has made this recovery up 10%. It's now at a resistance level of about $14.30, and we're going to see if it could break out, because ultimately why we started trading it was this reversal we started to see play out, and then it targeting to get back up into that $15 range to even a high of $16.50. And so far, that 10% swing is exactly what we were looking for on Soundhound. You can see that this move is probably due to just the developments of their tech. Someone said, Will, ChatGPT has voice audio. Why does Soundhound have any market for the AI voice? I mean, almost every company has AI voice. And I think it comes down to the hardware, and I think it comes down to the commercial application. You can see here that Soundhound has been adding some new commercial clients. They got Hyundai, Kia, Genesis, Lucid. I mean, imagine if you had ChatGPT or a company trying to add ChatGPT. Now they're fully reliant on ChatGPT. ChatGPT changes their prices. What else could happen for a company that is relying on OpenAI? I think Soundhound more or less goes in, builds a large language model for them, and does the custom voice AI solutions for your product. And they have Fortune 500 companies like Chipotle, Kia, you know, you have BBVA along with Samsung and ASICs, even in the pharmaceutical industry as well, where they're looking for those AI voice. And also they're doing it here. So maybe it's a hardware side of things, it's a software side of things where it's custom built for the solution of AI voice customer service or sales or things like that. And that's where they have a unique advantage. It's not like they're just probably plugging in, you know, ChatGPT. I think they actually go in, they build the large language models, or they offer the agentic AI voice for these companies, and then they build the platform for them and have the customer service for them and everything else. And that's why they're able to maybe it's ChatGPT, maybe it's Grok, who knows, you know what, maybe it's all custom LLM, but they're essentially going to companies and making it easier for them to use those services, and in a way that's commercially sound. And probably there's some level of prompt engineering that goes into it to make it specific to the brand and the goals of the company, and keeping it on the same track as how they would want an employee to act if it was in that position of an AI. So that's kind of why I would see them as a unique company, even though they're in Sound AI, which is obviously, you know, very popular. When it comes to their financials, they've really had some turmoil in the past where, you know, they were negative net income 258 million back in December. Were able to turn it around with positive revenue, positive net income, and then it dipped a little in this last quarter, but their revenue continued to rise. And so they're really rising revenue. They've cleaned up the balance sheet as well. See the total assets up to about 600 million. Their market cap currently is sitting at 5.8 billion. So that's a little high. You see that PE multiple of 26x is fairly above what you would say market value would be for the company. However, the place that they're going and where they're building out right now is where they would be able to excel. And they're in a market that's most likely going to grow. And that's why we were trading them earlier this week. Congratulations to all the traders that saw that video, were able to take advantage of that 7%. I ended up getting out basically even on yesterday morning, I believe it was, at market open. But that's okay. We had some other good trades this week we capitalized on, including APLD. That was a 5% trade on that data center company, APLD. And then today we were trading BBAI. We have a position going there from market open live session in Stockmate. I think we invested a little bit under 4,000. I think we're just around 3,000 to 3,500 bucks invested, and it hasn't moved much, up about $56 on the day profit so far. So we'll be watching that one as well. If you guys have any thoughts on the financials, you think maybe it's just too far of a stretch for Soundhound, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. There is definitely a buying what could be in some of the market, but I think their commercial partnerships should carry and continue to build their revenue. So maybe they can pull out and adjust back up to what their high valuation is right now. And that's why we like to follow them closely. So when it comes down to my positions long term, I do have some on Soundhound. I just hold them. Very small amount of my portfolio. I don't have a large allocated to Sound. More of my portfolio is in companies like CTM stock, which is one that's been hovering around $1 a share. It's at $1.06 right now, and that's one we've been holding. We also got AMD as well. That's one of our top positions, along with Google, and holding some other companies in robotics. And we're at a quantum computing conference here today. How many of you guys would like more information on quantum? We just dropped a video on what that conference has been like here on YouTube. It's in one of our recent videos if you want to go grab it. And one thing to consider if you're taking a look at Stockmate right now to potentially join in, we have something really exciting that we recently just added, which is when you get into Stockmate, you're going to find that there's two options. We have the instant access for everything, that you get full access, including the free t-shirt, but there's also a 7-day trial pass if you want to give it a shot. Today if we go back, just investing around below $4,000 per smaller position, we were able to make well over $74 this week. I think we came in, we had a few nice trades. We had APLD, we have Big Bear so far, where we've come in. If we would have held Soundhound, we would have been over $1,000 profit for the week. But I think we came in just around $450 profit from small positions. That's not including our long-term positions, anything like small positions, talking 3 to 4K invested, which was quite, way more than what it would be for a 7-day trial pass. If you're working with any amounts around that range or above that amount, I would encourage you to simply take a look at the second link below. We've had some good testimonials lately. We've had some people double their accounts, and we have over 25 individuals with a net worth of over $1 million in Stockmate. So if you're looking for that A to Z blueprint, daily live sessions, and the weekly watch list targets that we come out with in Stockmate, you can get those targets along with when companies are reporting in the second link below. Would love to see you at Market Open on Monday. If I earned your thumbs up, hit the like button. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.